Hi, North Node in Capricorn. My name is Melissa. Melissa means honeybee, which is why, or part of the reason why this channel is named Honeybee U Tarot. So clearly, I am the bee, the honeybee portion, but so are you. We are all part of a community, and the goal of my channel and my work across the board is to help you and everyone to remember that we are all connected, um, and that we all are here and have purpose, meaning, and value. Our journeys, our struggles have purpose, meaning, and value, and to help whoever seeks it to reconnect back to that uh, divine, ultimate knowing, connection to source, connection to purpose and meaning um, in your life, and all kinds of things like that. Okay. Um, so, Capricorn, North Node, you can understand or read about the North Node in the description box below. Anything that you need for this reading will be down there. If you don't mind, if you could like, share, or subscribe, that just really helps me out to keep growing for my channel and my purpose. And just to, if anything strikes you or resonates, or you have anything that you'd like to say, please leave a comment. That'd be great. I do have sometimes people email me. They don't feel real comfortable commenting, but my email is also listed in the description box. That is the way to contact me if you want to remain a little bit more anonymous, and it's also the way to contact me if you would like a reading. Okay, so the way I'm doing North Node is all about kind of your why are you here? The way I'm doing these readings is I pull some oracle cards to begin with. We're looking at the archetypes that are kind of surrounding you right now. We're looking at potential past life influences, as well as potential um, purpose, or potential paths to explore for your purpose, like right now, like in the now. So that can always change and morph. It doesn't have to be, exactly like what the card says, but you can start thinking of it. And if you're trying to work out, well, what do I want to do next? What's my next big thing? Or how can I kind of feel more inspired? You might feel, did you hear that? That was my dog. You might feel more inspired, or get some sort of inspiration from the cards. So that's what I pull out in the front, and then I'll do the tarot reading. So you can, if you stay for the oracle, if you listen to the oracle card, you get a lot more understanding of the reading, I think. Okay, so this was so interesting to me, Capricorn North Node, because as you know, or you may not know, the other side of the axis of Capricorn is Cancer. And so you're coming from that South Node in Cancer. So you'll have lots of, issues that you're going to have to work out that have kind of more to do with the more shadowy aspects of the sign of Cancer. But you also are going to be bringing with you all of the positive aspects of Cancer with you as you kind of get on this train to your North Node of Capricorn. So the first card came out, and it was like, it flew out. It was like instant. Is the Mother, okay? Right? Archetype, deeply connected to Cancer. So it may be that you are really working out a lot of South Node, past wounding, things that are kind of holding you back right now. I will read out of the book. So if we look at Mother. We have the Great Mother, the Feminine, and the Source. Notice how the Mother archetype is expressed in nature. This is perhaps the most balanced and benevolent form of the Mother's grace, right? So I call in Mother Gaia as one of the entities and energies that I call in, and I call in all kinds. But our connection to Mother Earth is consistently, and even more so now, being shown to by research to impact our individual health, and whether that's mental or physical health. So certainly makes sense. The Mother is part of the trifecta Maiden, Mother, and Crone. Because of the relationship between them, take special note when these cards appear in the reading. So that does not happen. When light, glowing, generative, creative, and nurturing. When dark, dim, exhausted, controlling, and limiting. So see if any of those words kind of are resonating with you, or those concepts are kind of tweaking something, and then we can see what more comes out with the reading. But let me read this to you. We begin our archetypal story with the Mother's love. Through her sensual, fertile, and life-giving energy, all creation takes form. Regardless of our birth story, each of our hearts beats for the first time in the warm womb of the Mother, where she offered resources from her body for the building of our own. Yet her tale is not so simple, as the Mother, especially on the earthly plane, contains both light and dark aspects of the feminine. With the best of intentions, the Mother wraps her loving arms around her creations and begins to grip what she meant to set free. Okay, so Capricorn North Node, people, you may notice that you have a tendency to get stuck in the past, to feel kind of clingy and needy, and need things to stay the same. But your North Node is asking you to resist being very dependent on other people, to give you that sense of security, stability, and to go out and create that stability yourself. To understand that, yes, it is important to you, 100%. It's important to all of us. But very specifically for you, that sense of kind of pulling away from the Mother and owning your more masculine, you like that father builder energy is very important to you. Okay, and so this makes perfect sense. The archetype that is around you right now is asking you to really work in balance, and you'll see some more of these cards come out. Really work in balance with those axes. Okay, the Mother both nurtures and prohibits growth. She gives yet clings. She creates yet restricts. Amid this complex energy, the Mother holds the key to the eternal challenge of love. Okay, so for you, it is important that you understand that you can build and create that sense of safety that you probably are looking for in a relationship. First, you have to build it yourself, and then once you do, you absolutely will be able to manifest that relationship that kind of mirrors what you already have within you. And until you do that, you may not be able to. Okay, because that's really just not part of your path. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck was the King. Okay, so we have that authoritative figure kind of underlying everything. I won't read a whole lot about this, just a few of the words. The ruler, the commander, the emperor. The King is necessary. He is a bridge between the eternal and the day-to-day. Okay, so for me, this is if this is your spiritual growth path, your why, your North Star, then what you're doing day to day is that bridge to get to that place of, growth and stability for yourself. It is also said that it is necessary for the king to die. This is a death of the ego. Once the king's relationship to divinity is broken or challenged, he often acts from a place of fear, scrambling to uphold his image and power. So when in light, benevolent, divine leadership, service, and nobility. When dark, oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. So you'll have to remember, this is general reading, so you'll have to figure out what, kind of where this is playing out in your life. If the king energy is within you, or if it is something that you're dealing with, maybe your own parent of some sort, or a relationship, or a ideal that you set up, or some demand that you require. So yeah, think about that. Okay. Potential past life influences. You got medicine, man or woman, and authority figures. Okay, so past life influences could be these together or separately, right? Maybe they read together. Like, let's just say you are interested in alternative medicine, but you have a fear that is based in like the past that is keeping you more like outwardly in like Western medicine, right? And really there's something about this. I mean, look, it's Native American, but there are many medicine people, healers, right, that didn't have all of the pharmaceutical Western medicine, kind of put a band-aid on it type of thing. They were practicing more holistically, more proactively, but there may be something that's holding you back because of authority, fears of authority figures. Maybe you were burned at the stake, or who knows. Or it could be something completely separate. Like, who were the authority figures? Who are authority figures in your life that may be triggering some sort of like spirit within you. That's not the word I want. Some kind of fire within you, like, I'm going to fight back, like I'm going to do whatever I have to, right? And we always have to walk that balance. That can be really hard. I relate to that. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck was male and female. Okay, so again, working through that, mother-father axis, the male-female archetype. This card suggests that, at least in the book, that it may be that in this life, you are playing the role of the opposite gender that you played in your past. And so you may feel kind of awkward in this role. You may feel some sort of conflict. You may still feel a pull from that other role. So it may be kind of difficult for you as we see these other archetypes that came out. It may be kind of, once again, asking you to work to balance out or recognize when you're not in balance on either side, right? The more masculine, assertive, aggressive versus the more female, passive, resistant No judgment on any of those. That's just what comes with the energy, right? So that's your past life influences. Potential purpose. How did I word this? Oh, potential purpose to explore right now. You guys, it's rainy. It's been stormy all day. We've got like some Saharan dust bowl coming through. I got no sleep last night. I just seriously, if you could hear me talking in the middle of the night when I know that it's about the energy around, but I also know my animals are acting crazy. It's been a struggle all day just to put one foot in front of the other, but thank you for giving me grace and patience. Okay, so potential life purpose paths to explore right now. Okay, interesting, right? Leadership, take charge of the situation. Not the time to be passive. Time to hone that more masculine, Capricornian leadership energy within you. There may be something within your life right now that you're sort of kind of passively waiting someone else to make a decision for you. Whether you're waiting for a job offer, or you're waiting for a relationship to come in, or you're waiting for a relationship to end, or even just follow a path, or speak out against injustices. There's a ton of things going on right now. Instead of kind of feeling real powerless and waiting for others to kind of step in and take that power, this is about you stepping in and being a leader in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't mean that you're wearing the crown. It doesn't mean that you have to be like actually the leader of the group or anything like that. It's just, this is more, I think, about you deciding to take action steps and go ahead and, wherever I read that, about building those everyday, day-to-day action steps towards something that you want to see in the world, right? Okay, this is another, okay, so 3 cards came out, and they can be either all related or not related. Again, general reading, take what works for you, leave the rest. You also got animals and music. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are part of your life's work. And then you got music. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. So, I don't know, there's a potential that, I don't know, are you concerned with animals, animal rights right now? Are you recognizing that this is something that, as an example, this is something that I've thought about recently. If we move into a recession or a depression, are people going to be able to take care of their animals? Right? If they're struggling to figure out how can they feed their babies or make their house payment, animals aren't like children, right? They require veterinarian care, especially, they require veterinarian care. They require a diet, sometimes special diets, sometimes, a living situation where maybe you live in a house and then you have to downsize and or rent. Let's say you lose your home and then you're renting suddenly, and then you can't, your dog or your cat or your animals or your boa constrictor can't come along. What are these people going to do? And so, I don't know, I'm a big animal person. And so that's kind of on one of the things that's on my mind and heart. Like, Okay, there's going to be a need for lots of people to show up in lots of different ways. And maybe this is something that's calling to you, right? Maybe you're a vet and you want to take a more holistic approach, if that's even a thing, to animal care. Or let's just say, like, you're going to close down your veterinarian office, but you're going to have one of those like rolling RVs or whatever, go somewhere and help people. I mean, it could be anything. I'm just making things up right now, but consider work with animals. And then music. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and for others. So if you are struggling right now and you're needing sort of that sense of comfort and some sort of an anchor, right? Like a sense of grounding as we're going through these changes and as you're kind of pushing through, letting go of the need for that mother, maybe becoming sort of your own mother, father person, entity. I'm so sorry. What was I going to say? Oh, music can be very grounding and can take us back. It can be inspiring. It can be healing in so many ways. Or perhaps you're a musician. Yeah. Okay. So those are things to explore. Also at the bottom of the deck was books. So if you are feeling really kind of at a loss, still and unsure, one thing I used to do when there were many more actual bookstores around was I'd go into a bookstore and maybe I wouldn't know exactly what I was looking for, but I knew kind of what section. And many times just a title or a person would come along and make a suggestion for me, and it ended up being like exactly what I needed at the time. And other times, I'd have to do some investigating and I'd go in and just spend hours at the bookstore. And kind of that would take me on my next step through the dark woods, if you will, to, I don't know, I think my path is still unfolding, but, or maybe what does it say? You connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. Going to write a book? Are you maybe a professional student of sorts? Are you needing to do some more studying or some more research? Do you just feel happy around books? This just popped into my head. What was the situation? It was helping little kids to read. And people took their kids to like the pet shelters or the animal shelters and read to them. And it was really comforting for both. Like the little kids really enjoyed feeling helpful to the animals and comforting to the animals. And then they were learning to read, right? And honing that skill. So it could be anything, but if any of these things kind of are pinging to you, this is a sign for you to go ahead and follow whatever that is, that inspiration, inclination, or intuitive nudge. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So where are the current challenges? I've already shuffled, set my intentions, said my prayers multiple times, cleared and cleansed the cards, my space, my crystals, myself. So here we are. What challenges are present right now for Capricorn North Node? What challenges? Normally do, so let's do that again. So it's interesting, right? Mother, the king, authority figures, leadership. Definitely a theme here. It'll be interesting to find out what's going on. Capricorn North Node. Oh, no. We do have a full moon coming up here, and I cannot remember if it is, and there's going to be an eclipse. I can't remember if it's in, I'm not doing this. This is too many. All right. If it's in Cancer or Capricorn, I apologize. Nevertheless, there is significant energy coming to play around Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, in the very near future, and I believe, although I'm not sure, up until the end of the year. Okay, I don't know what they all are. I'm not an astrologer. Look up astrology on any of the YouTube channels. We've got really great people out there educating in all sorts of ways about the astrology that is kind of affecting us, what's happening in the stars. But all righty, let's see. Okay, bottom of the deck. We've got collaborating. There's the devil, okay, which is Capricorn, ruled by Saturn. Underneath that, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Remember, the bottom of the deck energy for me is the energy that's moving from, the fairly recent past through the present into the, near future. But we are doing North Node reading, so it could be maybe what you're looking at throughout this. We're closing out the karmic nodal axis, so maybe over the last 18 months. So three major arcana here out of 6. Okay, so got the Hierophant. Okay, ethics, morals, faith, spirituality, ideals. Okay. Along with 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Pentacles or coins, right? It's what we're manifesting, right? It can be money, business, things. For me, I see this as many times as, you've ever heard the song Cats in the Cradle? It's sort of about legacies. It's about making sure that when you've built or you're striving to build everything that you're striving to build, that in the end, when you reach this place, that you are content and happy with what you've built, because there can oftentimes be a sense that I missed life while it was happening, while I was building all of the things that I thought were so important, right? And so for me, while these two cards are together, I'm kind of getting that sense like a current challenge may be, what is important to me ethically, morally, ideally, idealistically? What is it that I want to build that is going to feel spiritually purposeful, meaningful to me? I don't want to build it just for the sake of having the pile of coin, right? I don't want to do that. It could also be a challenge that anything that you thought you were building before, you're realizing it's no longer, or it isn't what you actually were building. It's not, you're not content with it. It could also be a sense that in order to balance, okay, these are the next two cards. Okay. That it could be asking you to be patient in a place of grief if you're realizing that or recognizing the things that I thought that were important, or what I thought I was building, or the direction I thought was important to me at one point is no longer. And now I'm not sure what is important to me, that it's okay for you to go ahead and take some time to grieve the loss. Sometimes we have to grieve the loss of a dream. But if you are grieving something very tangible, that it's okay that you are to recognize that you are in a space of healing, of balance, that it seems as though there is this right now, like we talked about earlier, that kind of sense of the spiritual, the healing and the balancing needs to come with understanding the connection and the flow between the spirit and the material world, right? That while you're figuring this out, or transmuting is the only word, like maybe even the lessons and the pain that you've learned along this journey, that it's okay to just trust and be patient in the process, of healing and what it is that you need to do. You don't want to stay there too long, right? Because there are two cups behind you that need to be picked up and taken back across the bridge and back to this place of shelter. But I think you need some time, or you are in a time of really maybe understanding why something had to happen, or that this is part of the path of how you grow spiritually. I got 2 5s here, so it's definitely, if there's a change, right? I mean, there's definitely a change here. And it could be, it's a very intimate situation in your life, and it could just be that you're just looking at the world like, wow, what is going on here? Everything's changing. And how does that impact me, or what impact am I going to make? what's going to be my role in the space of healing? Okay. Then the next two cards that came out were one is the Page of Swords. Okay. And then the final card is the Ace of Cups. Okay. So I always see this card. If you can see this little tree in the back, right? And these big fluffy clouds, they're not like storm clouds or anything, but you can, in the way that the grass is, it for me, it's like everything's kind of flowing, right? So it's like I always think of this as like the winds of change, right? The hair is blowing, but then this figure is looking this way and the change is going that way, right? So this figure is looking back. It may be, and it's swords, so it could be mental energy. It could also be that you're hearing things. Maybe gossip, maybe someone from your past is sending you messages. But for me, for some reason, I'm sensing that this is more about you rather than going with the winds of change. You're still kind of looking in your rearview mirror, if you will. What I do like is that the sword is going in that direction. It's going with the winds of change, right? But it's kind of like his little foot, is still stuck back here. And I don't know, I just read this card differently, just whatever I kind of feel. But I want you to know, like, wow, Ace of Cups, absolute love, overflowing, healing, grace, the ultimate of love. That is like straight up love, like a what is the word? Like it's like grace, right? Did I say grace? It's like it just suddenly pours down over you and through you that maybe you understand something about yourself or about your path or about life or about humanity or about your journey that you something you sense all of this is like I'm loved, like I'm loved and I am loved. I keep seeing this and feeling like the angel is like looking over you, right? Like right? He's looking over you. Um just waiting for you to turn around and trust. And when you stop, I think, when you stop looking that way, when you stop looking behind you, and this could come on suddenly, you may get this sense of perfect, unconditional, limitless overflowing sense of love and connection to source, to yourself, maybe even from others. Maybe you are collaborating and working with others. Maybe you're going to counseling. Maybe this is, I don't know. Work. Your sense of self and work, and purpose, maybe even, because that's what this kind of reading is really all about, is gets you to that place where my cup runneth over, right? And I'm not depending on other people, as we talked about earlier. I'm not depending on other people to provide me with this sense. I get this sense by understanding life, and that things don't happen to me, even in my saddest, darkest times. If I keep going, if I just keep moving, if I keep trusting, if I maintain my integrity and keep growing, I heal, and I understand that life happens like for me, right? Not an easy task during, challenging times such as we have. But this seems to be the challenge for you right now. So what strengths or gifts are you bringing forward, Capricorn North Node? What strengths or gifts are you bringing forward? Well, strength is at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so courage and the ability to kind of harness and I would say integrate. Like, you've learned to integrate and utilize and harness some of your more primal instincts, or your reactivity, or things that were a little bit more reactionary or immature. That, for me, the strength card is about you having learned, you don't suppress it, you don't repress it, you don't shut it out, those primal things. You've learned how to harness them and integrate them into being a more responsive, courageous, adult, mature being. Six of Swords. Many people say, moving into calmer waters, right? Well, so one thing I'm always curious about is, well, are we this person, or are we these people, or what's going on here? Who is this? Is this spirit? Like, what's going on? I think this is you. I think this is you with a more mature. I think this is the strong, mature you. The nurturing you. The you that is learning about life. The Capricorn North Node you, whereas this is the more South Node Cancer. This is you taking yourself into calmer waters. Like, I have to be strong, and whatever the challenges, whatever the changes that I've gone through or I'm experiencing, because I know and have faith in life. What's underneath here? Ace of Pentacles, then after that, and the World after that. Wow. Yeah, because I have faith. And, you know, these lessons, don't forget, we've generally, when you get the World card, I mean, we've generally kind of been here before. But I'm just getting the sense that you've learned something about yourself in life, and that you know how to get yourself to a place of calmer waters. You stay perseverative, and you stay determined, and you harness your courage and your belief in your ability to build whatever it is that you need to build, right? And you do it from a place of self-love. What tendencies to leave behind? What tendencies for Capricorn North Node to leave behind? Okay. Okay, so what came up? Eight of Swords with the High Priestess. Okay. The moon right there. So, and all the kind of watery stuff, very intuitive. Okay. Tendencies for Capricorn North Node to leave behind is being driven or limited by like what they're sensing. Okay. That, you know, if I feel it, it must be true. That, you know, sort of sense of fear and heightened sensitivity keeps me stuck. It keeps me from moving forward because I'm feeling like I'm feeling stuff, and I don't know that I can separate myself out away from what I'm sensing from what I'm sensing and feeling in the now, maybe even. I can't separate that from what it might be like in 24 hours, right? Or even if I'm sensing it and I'm fearing it, it may be I'm sensing and fearing it because of something that I experienced in the past, whether it's, you know, kind of trauma in your life or past life stuff, or just kind of the astrological energy that's going on. I'm being very impacted right now. I think a lot of very highly sensitive people are. But this is something for you to leave behind, that you do not get stuck in some kind of a false imaginary imprisonment based on like your high sensitivities, and you will have them. Okay. It's also, this is also a strength of yours, but when this thing shows up, no, then we're not using this and integrating it in the way that we need to. Okay. Capricorns use their sensitivity, Capricorn North Node uses their sensitivity to move forward, right? To maybe trust their instincts to maybe take a risk or gamble on something, right? But Cancer's, no. Cancer South Node will not. So you got to leave that behind, okay? If you're feeling any of that kind of energy, and maybe even in feeling kind of stuck and trapped by the currents of the moon and the mysteries of life, you know, like, why does this keep happening to me? I'm so stuck because I don't have any control over life. Well, no, you don't. But you do have control over how you respond to life. Okay? You do have control over how you respond to life. So how are you going to respond to life? Because that's what's going to, you know, come up when the trumpet blares. Yeah, you can't do this. These are the things to leave behind. Okay. Oh, woe is me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to choose. I don't know how to. I'm all alone. Nobody cares. Why doesn't anybody help me? No. No. Nope. Leaving that behind. Leaving that behind. Okay. So what to focus on? I think I should get another Rider Waite type deck. I don't like it that I all these cards and then I don't have any cards left hardly. But, okay. What to focus on to contribute to the collective? What to focus on to contribute to the collective? What to focus on? What does Capricorn North Node need to focus on to contribute to the collective? Do you need to say something to someone? 22 through I just got pain. Do you need to speak up? Do you need to say something? What to focus on to contribute to the collective? North Node. What's North Node need to focus on? Contribute to the collective. Focus on. Okay, so I can see what wants to pop out. Of making choices. Is this about a relationship? Okay. Yeah. All right. You got choices, okay? Okay, wow, 2 3s. Got the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Wands. Okay, so double 3s. So far you've got what? You got double 5s and you got double 3s. Okay. Okay. So bottom of the deck is 7 of Swords. This can be a card of saying one thing and doing another. For me, that's how I read it. Same, and my whole, this is like killing me right now, suddenly. So are you saying one thing and doing another? Why is this guy looking back over his shoulder again? It can be, some people think of this as a card of deception. When I see this card, I note that there are two swords like stuck down into the ground here, right? So for me, that's like, well, somebody set a boundary here. Somebody said, this is my decision, or this is my truth, or this is what, right? Because the two of swords person is like, I don't want to know, I don't want to see, I don't want to. So something maybe was said, was chosen, or was decided. But then he's got the Five of Swords, like, and which the Five of Swords card is kind of all this conflict. So for me, it's like talking out two sides of the mouth. What's going on here? And then the Tower underneath that, and then another five, right? Internal conflict. So maybe that you are still conflicted about something that is going on or something that happened. But what to focus on to contribute to the collective. I think this is really about you learning what and who brings you joy, and or looking forward to a new or a current community that is supportive of you, that will celebrate with you whatever it is that you have come through, or wherever it is that you're now you're looking forward, right? We're sailing into calmer waters. Let's get a clarifier. Let's get a clarifier here. So to give to the collective, what are you focusing on to contribute to the collective? What's going on here? Why Three of Cups, and yeah, that's where am I going? Where are you taking your? All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Nine of Wands, right? That spiritual warrior. I've been through a lot. Look at the lion, the courage is back here, right? Because of where I've been and the lessons that I've learned, I understand my strength. I understand my competence. And I know that I am absolutely capable of what? Of anything that I want. Anything that I want to create. Anything that I think this is meaningful to me, right? It's another Three of Wands clarifying a Three of Wands. What do I want? What do I want to put out into the world? I've got to be clear, but it's got to bring me joy. And that's how it came out. Okay. See the lotus down there? No mud, no lotus. Maybe what you have been through is something that you are going to incorporate into your life's work. And you will maybe be able, or it is important for you to be able to find a community that a like-minded community that can support you and understands and celebrates with you, not only like how difficult the journey was. I mean, like, I could never understand what it takes to train to run a marathon. I can be like, oh God, wow, look at you, like, wow, that's amazing. But another marathon runner or someone that runs like a half marathon, they know how hard and the work and the dedication and the training that goes into it. And it's only those people that really come together that really can celebrate with you, right? Many of my clients that I counsel in my counseling practice, including myself, have come out of abusive situations. And no one can understand what it's like, and it's mental emotional, can understand the insidiousness of that type of abuse unless you have been there. And so the level of joy and happiness and compassion and just all the feelings that come with it, no one can understand it like someone who's gone through it. And the support that comes from others that have gone through that is important. That may be important for you and important for you to take your healing and your work and offer it to, help others. Okay. You're driving your cart. You're driving your chariot, baby. Okay. This is the end of the first line of the major arcana. So he's gone through a lot. This guy here, looking back over his shoulder. This one, nope. Full speed ahead. I'm not even going to stop. Going after what I want. Okay? And it's the choice, the Lover's card and the Two of Cups cards kept wanting to kind of sneak out. So I feel like this may have to do with a relationship for you. Could be a partnership. But what it was telling me is you have to be making this choice for yourself. You don't hand it over to someone else to make a choice for you. What obstacles to be aware of? What obstacles for Capricorn North Node to be aware of? Why these? Okay, so we're going to be aware of, well, yeah, these were all, we're going to be aware of everything that was at the bottom of the deck, okay? Talking out of both sides of her mouth, feeling like the world is coming to an end, internal conflict, Five of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. All right, how am I going to read this? Just right off the top of the bag, and then another 5, this time of Swords, okay? Remember I said he's carrying the 5 of Swords. This is like conflict. There's a winner or a loser, right? Beware of these obstacles of, okay, when she's an obstacle because she's being a diva. And she thinks that she's entitled, right? And gets to boss people around. Otherwise, I love her. So be aware. Multiple things, okay? That, or of deception. Be aware of, I don't know why I'm saying this necessarily in particular, but it's a feeling. I believe that you have already gone through this actual kind of moment, tower moment. You might, maybe you're going to get hit again. I don't know. You know, they say lightning doesn't strike twice, but maybe it will. Okay? Because we were having 3 eclipses in a row. We've got another one coming up on July, the 4th of July, 5th of July. Okay? So that's sudden ending. So it could be that while you have been deliberating and in a space of internal conflict, talking out of both sides of your mouth, seeing that the winds have changed in here, and you keep looking back over your shoulder, that it may be that you have another tower moment, another kind of smack in the face that, like, no, this is done, this is over, this is whatever. But for some reason I'm feeling that this is more kind of like a feeling, maybe that you know, it's not the end of the world, it's just the tower. Okay? And towers are rebuilt, and they're rebuilt better, with better in a manner that is hopefully more in line with the codes and the ethics and the will of the people or the person that needs to rebuild it, right? Towers come down. Shit happens. And shift happens, right? And it's painful. It is. Especially if you feel that you're blindsided. But we're looking at that North Node, so we don't want, we're looking at the South Node as we're looking at your North Node. We're making sure that we're acknowledging issues with the South Node that could come up. So just be really careful that you're not like, oh, the sky is falling, it's all over, oh, woe is me, it's just so much, like, how will I ever survive, how will I ever live, and now you have to, you know, bow down to me, and or I'm, you know, I'll show you, you know, let's not do that. What's underneath here? Yeah, the Queen of Swords, she doesn't play around. And the World card. Okay. So you're at the end of a cycle, okay? You're at the end of something. All right. How the collective needs you. Okay. How does the collective need Capricorn North Node? How the collective needs you. Capricorn North Node. How the collective needs you. Need your strength. How the collective needs you. Wow. No, thank you. Really? You guys know how much I hate reading multiple cards, but okay. So need a change in perspective. Number one, right? We need kind of a spiritual timeout. The it's kind of like we need you to be able to the only thing I can think of is, be less reactive, be willing to trust your instincts and trust your intuition, but in a way that is able to challenge previously held beliefs, in a way that is able to embrace the need for change, in a way that is able to make connections in time that maybe you wouldn't be able to do if you were, just kind of acting real quickly, real reactively. Yeah. It's like just the underlying energies just need to take a little bit of time just to, I'm just going to sit with this. I'm going to pray. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to like allow myself to become a little more like enlightened to what is actually happening here. Okay, there's this one level of what is happening, but at some point we learn that we can either choose to give what's happening a new meaning. We can change the narrative, or we really do have an inner knowing that there truly is a different meaning, a higher meaning to what is happening, right? So, got the Knight of Wands, okay? Six of Wands, so you got another six here. Or I don't even remember. Oh yeah, okay. The Emperor, okay. Aries, King of Cups. Four of Cups and King of Swords. Capricorn. Was Seven of Wands under here somewhere? No, where did I see that? All right. This is okay. Okay, I just heard we need you to believe in yourself that when the time comes, when the time comes, we need you to be very confident in yourself, to move passionately, courageously, and with conviction into your leadership, into your knowingness that you are a leader. Two more leader cards, right? The Emperor creates the structure, the laws, the governance. It's Aries energy. He is master of his domain, right? With the King of Cups, he, well, it can be related to Cancer, right? South Node, also Pisces. But there's something about Cancer that something about the King of Cups. You know, he's a man in this watery, more feminine energy, the water element, emotions, right? So he's more balanced. He does not get shook up by his emotions. He can be very nurturing, guiding, intuitive, but solid, stable person. So again, what do we need from you, North Node Capricorn? We need your intuition. We need your stability. We need you to be able to hold steady, to in the face of big emotions. Not so much that you're going to be like removed from them, and that but that you, look at how, it's crazy, look at how similar they are, right? Like even their positioning. Their thrones. Whatever it is that you decide to build, or when you come into leadership, maintain your connection to your emotions, to your intuition, but use that for compassionate leadership. Okay, you're not covered up in armor. You're not Aryan. You're not Aryan energy, Aries, right? You're not like the warrior, like, no, you're stable, calm, empathetic, compassionate. You don't get carried away with it. Carried away by the waves of emotions. Okay? The Four of Cups with the the King of Swords. I feel, and the thing with the, tooth or whatever, like that shooting, it was going down my jaw, that it's gone. But I think, again, this guy, right? He's like leaning up against the tree, and maybe he's reflecting, this little being is reflecting, has regrets, has some remorse, maybe even has some obstinance to letting go, to moving forward, to seeing that there could be anything else for him, right? But the Ace of Cups is right here, right? Once you stop looking back, once you stop being in, regret and remorse or apathy or depression, here it is. Same thing. Okay? It's being offered. Okay? There is now, could these be different people, right? Could the King of Cups, the Emperor, could they all be different people in the King of Swords? Yeah. But I don't think so. There is a potential. But I think this is about you. Learning that your truth is not the truth. That you can be fair and just and speak from a place of experience and wisdom and teach from a place of experience and wisdom. Wisdom comes from experience. It's not something that you learn out of a book. I almost forgot that your oracle cards were all about leadership. So, he's enlightened. Okay, so when he speaks, he's speaking from a more enlightened place. He may be a bit direct, but he doesn't waste words, and he doesn't mince words, and he doesn't say things that he doesn't mean, right? He says what he means, and he means what he says, and it's fair and just and enlightened and just from like a higher see the butterfly above his head? It's like from a higher, wiser place. And I think maybe you just need to take some time to get there, right? We need you to get there. We need you to help to build practically, like to be a practical leader who can implement, you know, things maybe that you sense or you feel or you're being pulled or drawn to. We need you to be able to maybe articulate like how that would best be done or how that could best serve people in a practical way, in a fair and just way, right? Okay. And best possible outcome. Wow, this is a long reading. No, that was my mistake. That felt okay. My hand just kind of did its own little thing there. Not like that. Okay, best possible outcome. Oh. Bottom of the deck. Best possible outcome. Okay, there's an offer being made. All right, doing the hard work, doing the work. The work is the thing. Being an apprentice, showing up every day. This is Capricorn. Every day I'm doing the work, whatever that is. Could be my work, right? When we say my work, I'm doing my therapy. I'm doing my, what I need to do on myself. And other times it's really like working at your craft. It's working on, your business. It's working on your skills. It's, okay. So best possible outcome looks like, you're working, you're diligent, you're in your work. The work is the thing. This is what is important. And it could be that you are given an offer, made an offer, a partnership, or you're doing the work on healing yourself for relationship. Partnership. I think it's working on you, on balancing that masculine feminine thing. And when you do that work, right? When you do that work, you are more, you're just better suited to be in a space where you can make an offer in love, or what's going on here, or in partnership, or to receive an offer. Yeah. Okay, bottom of the deck, Justice. Okay, balancing out some karma here. Eight of Cups. I've got to walk away towards something better, and completing a cycle. Okay, I'm doing my work. I'm doing my work to be able to do this. Doing my work, healing my karma, healing my South Node, balancing out the feminine and the masculine. Okay, let's get a Animal Spirit Oracle card and let you go. Gosh. I don't know, does anybody? No, that's too many. I don't know if anybody watches these all the way through. I hope somebody does. that I listen to that do long readings like this, oftentimes like I'm getting ready, or maybe I'm taking a bubble bath, or I am making dinner, or sometimes when I can't sleep, that's when I'm listening to these readings. And sometimes I have to backtrack later because I fell asleep, thank God. But you know, when I do these long readings, I know we can't all just sit around watching tarot readers, but all right, trust the great mystery. And once again, I think you are the 4th or 5th sign to get Ant Spirit. Time to collaborate. We all need to work together, right? We all need to work together. You got Whale Spirit, trust the great mystery. Wow. All right, let me see. Capricorn North Nodes. That's 65 resonates to number 11. Pretty amazing. Whale Spirit is an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time and who has seen everything, felt everything, and heard everything that has ever transpired on this planet. In the hidden realms where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, Whale Spirit is the keeper, singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest sea. When Whale Spirit appears, it is a reminder that there is a great mystery that you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things cannot be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through the peripheral senses that part the invisible veils separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended to by the angels. Right? For some reason, I'm just seeing the angels are around you. Okay? Certainty is not offered to you right now. You are being asked to trust the process of co-creation. Whale Spirit reminds you that your primary reality is not that of the material world, but that of the realm of spirit, from which the essence of your dreams and desires take shape before arriving as a specific form. You must trust absolutely that what will come will be for the highest good. Stay in your present moment awareness and allow the hidden realms to hold your intentions safely until it is time for them to manifest in the realm of form. Let go, for you will not be left behind. Some things take longer than others to arrive. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, Capricorn, be well, wear your masks. You matter. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of the hive, and just trust, okay? Be patient and trust.